Where am I? What's up, George Bush fans? Who's voting Bush tonight? Mute this. No earnings tonight? Al Gore. No decent earnings tonight? Nobody big? Forgot it was even earnings season. Only election. No, not Square. Definitely not Square. GWPH. All right, what time is it? Oh, I was running a little late here, huh? All right, let's get rolling then. Let me shoot a. Oh, I got them on here anyway. Hold on. All right, let's before we even look at anything here, let's talk quickly about what we've seen happen here early this week. All right, just quickly recapping what we discussed on Sunday and late last week. Okay, we were at a spot where we were getting some bullish short-term signals, right? Short-term sentiment signals showing us that, well, all you need is two eyeballs to know that things were a little bit too oversold, right? A lot of breadth indicators were really washed out. Sentiment indicators over a short-term time horizon were lighting up green. So we discussed on Sunday where the likelihood is we had two scenarios that we would be okay with, right? And still things can line up the way we want them. One would be that we can't put any decent rally together off our tactical bullish sentiment signal. Okay, we can't put any decent strong rally together off that signal, and we go into the election and we get some selling, and that would ultimately set up a nice sweet spot for us, right? Even just on the short-term time horizon where, a snapback rally, if we wanted to play it, if we wanted to position for a snapback rally, we could feel good about it having a little lasting power, right? Because they reeled in that many more bears and that much more on the short side. The other scenario, okay, and this is kind of why we were in a pickle coming into the week. The other scenario would be just your normal run-of-the-mill tactical sentiment squeeze, right? We see it all too often. We get some bullish signals on that main indicator, tactical sentiment indicator. Sometimes you get a rise in the put to call, the squeezometer, which we see on an intraday basis, gets down, flashes a 3 handle, and this is your textbook, right? What we've seen here over the past 2 days, your textbook sentiment squeeze. Okay. As I told you, all you guys who are members, I didn't position on an overnight basis. I didn't do anything different to try to catch and try to make some money off this squeeze. I came to the decision that I was going to play any snapback squeeze that we get pre-election on an intraday basis, right? Try to make some money, lean long, as we like to say, come into Monday with our squeeze hats on, right? And, look for signs at a sweeper activity, even though the flow is kind of messy these days. But trying to find a decent window to hop on a couple longs and make some money on the long side. All right. One thing you wanted to be careful, if you play both sides, you definitely wanted to avoid shorting into that because there's a high probability of a squeeze, right? Hence the signals. Okay. So where are we now? Now that sentiment squeeze is over and done with. Okay. So if you did put any overnight exposure on, today was the day you wanted to roll, lock in some profits. We spoke about it during the day, raise stop losses, that sort of thing. But if you played for that tactical squeeze, you got it. Okay. Now, anything additional or anything beyond that point, it's a whole other can of worms now, right? Now you're going into a binary event. You have the election. You don't have tactical sentiment on your side anymore because of the move. Okay. And one thing I want to get straight with a lot of you guys, just so you know, because we spoke about this before we even got into in what I think has been one huge consolidation here, right? You see the Pink Panther up here on ES, one huge just consolidation type pattern in the overall market. We discussed how, when the market's up, it's going to feel like, all right, here we go again. Here's the rally. You'd be pissed if you don't know anything. Damn it, I missed it. People getting FOMO, want to grab onto, put on some swing long positions just because they see things bouncing back. And when the market's weak, like we saw prior to that, it feels like the market's going to break down and go to zero in a week, right? That's what it feels like. And you can't get wrapped up in that emotion, right? You can't get wrapped up in that emotion. And the only way not to, that I've discovered over the course of my career, is having that conviction, right? You hear me use that word a lot, okay? Especially when it came to this setup here. If we would have got a little more weakness, or this thing would have lasted through the election per se, right? To get rid of that binary event and would have just lured in a little more bearishness, I would have had more conviction to be more aggressive in trying to capitalize off this squeeze. Okay. But because I didn't have everything I wanted to see line up, on this particular setup, I didn't have the conviction to go in and get super aggressive long, right? I was content with just trying to take advantage of intraday momentum and making a little money, right? And that all comes to conviction. And that's what these signals, right? And that's what sentiment, flow, whatever it may be, or you guys may follow all this stuff. If you don't have confidence off it, you have nothing. Right? If you don't have the conviction off it, you have nothing, because the conviction means everything when you're in a type of market we're in right now. Okay. For me, I don't get FOMO. The only time I get FOMO is when my signals are telling me to do something and I'm the reason, emotionally or psychologically, I'm the reason why I'm not doing something. Okay. But if if the stuff I'm paying attention to is telling me to be patient and wait and let things get more information and let things line up, a little more stronger on a risk reward basis, whatever it may be, I'm not going to get FOMO off a couple of days like this, because, markets go up and down every day, right? You could come up with whatever reason, whatever excuse to get excited on an up day, and every excuse to get suicidal on a down day, and you could drive yourself nuts. So the conviction of your signals are everything. All right. And that's why, like, for now, okay, considering all the risk that's been out there, okay, a lot of us have come to the conclusions it's best and most prudent for us to sit in, some of us are in all cash, a lot of us are in a big cash position, all right? and be patient and allow things to set up. All right. And where are we now? Believe it or not, and we've had enough selling to help. But from the last time I spoke to you guys, there's improvement out there. Quite a few things. Okay. Look a lot better than they did even just a week ago. All right. But there are still things that aren't quite there yet. Right. And the goal, what we want at this point in time where we're at in this market at the end of the year with all the election and all these risks flying in the air, we want some sort of sweet spot to set up here, right? That's the main goal out of any setup coming out, from sentiment, right? You want that sweet spot set up where you can have the conviction that your downside should be limited because everybody is lined up and positioned on the other side. All right. And like I said, we're getting closer. We'll look at a couple things today that are a big difference from the last week, a week ago when we had this webinar. All right. But there's still some things out there that we really need to get washed out, right? And reel in a little more bearishness. All right. There's still that sloppiness out there that needs to get washed out. If it doesn't, and the market rallies without me, so be it. That's the game. What am I going to do? But I'm not going to get out of my game anytime, I see price action in front of me that doesn't look like it's going according to script, because that's going to happen a lot. And a lot of you guys could understand that already just following this stuff, over the last few weeks, right? It looked like the riffraff spec money, whoa, could they be right this time, right? We were hearing that all over the place. And then, after an up week or two, the market rolled over and took a bath, right? Or could the Sharpies be wrong? You hear that continuously because everyone is so focused on what's going on right now. And, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean much, right? It doesn't mean much. All right. So that's where I'm at. Okay. I'm still being patient. I'm still just focusing on intraday, right? A lot less risk, a lot less stress, a lot less upside. I'm not going to make anywhere near the amount of money I could make if I'm long a position and the market's going higher. But I am sitting tight and waiting for a better setup out of all this. All right. And here's the improvement. I'll show you guys quickly where we're at, and then I'll let you enjoy, if you call it enjoy, this menagerie tonight that we call an election. Hold on. Let's go to this first because we look at this all the time. Oh. And we're gonna get some more information this week, which every week seems like critical information, but we're gonna get even more this week after last week's sell-off to see where we're at. All right, so here is that Goldman risk on, risk off. Okay, and you can see a little bit improved. You still got, this is the newsletter, Bull Bear newsletter, one that's stuck here, risk on. So they're still all bullish. All right, but a lot of the momentum stuff has cooled off because of the market pull, right? A lot of this stuff over here still on the better half of the column. Okay, but we want to, see these dark blue diamonds? We want to see them all tilt to this side. At least I do. Okay, they don't have to be slammed up against the end here, but we want them all on this side here. And again, that will allow, the reason why I want it allows me to have the conviction that, okay, if I start building positions into weakness now in names I like that are catching decent sweeper activity, I feel good about adding if there's any further weakness. Okay, that's the problem we have now. That for a while now, I haven't felt good about building a positioning something and adding it to weakness when I think it's got a lot lower to go, right? That's the problem. I'm not going to add into weakness if I think it has a lot lower to go. We discussed, if you remember, Fastly, right? Fastly had a gap down, big dip, right? And we were talking about, all right, maybe if we were in a different point in the market, you know, this is a spot here, it's catching some action, you would want to start a position, right? And then add to it if it goes a little lower when you have the conviction that the market should hold up and take it higher with it, okay? But if the market, if you don't have that conviction and the market rolls over, especially when these things are out of favor, you know, you can add all you want into weakness. This thing can keep going lower on you, no matter what you feel, right? So that's the difference. That's the difference, okay? So that's what we want out of here. We want to see the majority of these dark blue diamonds come over to the left side, and we'll get there. We'll get there, all right? Here's, oops. Where's the other Goldman one? Is this it? What's today's date? No. Well, the other one's neutral too. The risk on, risk off. I mean, the momentum. What's it called? Momentum, I think, right? I can't keep up with these things. Here it is. All right, so you had the light blue. You had some momentum, heat, short-term heat. And now basically you're still just smack in the middle, neutral. All right, so a lot of neutral on the intermediate term sentiment indicators for the most part. Here's the most promising improvement. Our good old hedge fund buddies. What? Oh, Goldman. What? What am I doing here? I'll tell you this. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here's our good hedge fund buddies. All right, so just quickly, so everybody understands what the hell we're talking about here, if you've been following along on these webinars, or if you're a member, newish, okay. What we were worried about here, especially when our other sentiment indicators are flashing heat, telling us that positioning is full, right? Especially when the riffraff spec money gets long and the sharp money gets fully hedged, okay? What we're concerned about is all this buying here, okay? All this, if there's a reason for them to sell, they have stuff to sell, right? There's supply out there, okay? And it could weigh just like this on the way up. When they're buying, definitely helps the market, right? As far as price action is concerned, every dip gets bought, right? There's no such thing as a dip. There's no such thing as a correction. On the flip side, when they're pretty full, okay, you're going to see this 9 out of 10 times weigh on price action. And every rip finds sellers. You know? So again, if you've been paying attention on this webinar, you would know exactly what we were talking about. This is not bearish in itself. Once it gets up here, there's no sell signal. This is no buy sell signal type of thing. Okay. What it tells us is when there is a reason for them to sell, there could be some real selling. Okay. On the flip side, to where when they're down here and they're short, okay, doesn't necessarily nail a bottom that day, the low. Okay. But what happens when they need to get long again? Right? They're going to have to do some buying. And when they're already net short, right? They're already net short. Right? They're already sold. So it's not as much selling pressure on the market. You understand? So this is one of probably the most promising things out there that we've seen as far as intermediate sentiment stuff, positioning stuff. Okay. They're getting close to basically hardly even long. And what a beautiful thing it would be if they end up getting net short again, you know, and they stay net short for a long time. All right, so we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. But interesting that they're selling. They've been selling into this poll, and I mean, again, all you need is two eyes, and you could tell based off the price action, especially in the crowded stuff, right? Right, all that crowded stuff we've been talking about for weeks, tech, all hot growth, and all that. That the character, the price action has looked different. No, you could see it. You just see it, right? Even off earnings, you get beat. Doesn't even matter. So a lot of reversals, You know, and that's a textbook. You know, that's a textbook sign that everybody was already in, and there's not enough of a catalyst to create more buying out of thin air. Where's the buying going to come from? Right? The same buyers have to add again. And the likelihood of that happening is, slim when positions that full. So, that's another thing that concerns me here is that, a lot of those names are crowded. And what happens when you have stuff that's that crowded, when you get into a little corrective phase or consolidation, it can overshoot to the downside, just like it overshoots to the upside. There are a lot of longs in these things. Like, can you imagine if these things have one leg south from here, another leg down from here? You're going to have some panicky players in these things. Right? And that's where things can get slippery and get ugly. So, that's what we got to watch out for. And today it looked like, I don't know, I was trying to keep an eye on things, but there was so much flow all over the place. I wanted to pay attention to it. But, like, look, on a day like today, right, you usually see Apple, just gun it on a day like today, right? Even though the last couple of days, it's been rotation out there. It's been rotation for the most part. What AMD do today? Did that, these things hardly even budged. They hardly even budged. So, we'll see how they play out. All right. The other thing too, we'll see again Friday. Friday's update, what things look like. Sharpies still aren't interested in any upside, right? As of last Friday's update, they have no interest in any further upside in the market, and riffraff is still long. So, that's another thing why we should be patient, right? We should be patient. And, I went over it on the Sunday webinar with members. If you didn't see it, you could see the recording. But I told you guys, I'm not looking for a buy signal out of Sharpies and stuff like. I would like to get it, but I'm not just waiting for a buy signal that may take 9 months to a year. Who knows? But one or two things are going to happen. If I'm not going to get that buy signal, I sure as hell don't want to buy when they're fully hedged and the riffraff is long. So that has to change, right? I'm not buying when the riffraff's long. I don't care what I see the market doing in front of me. Some people, price is the only, what's that line? Price is the only important thing, or whatever shit they say. Like, there is no way I'm going to get aggressive on the long side with riffraff specs fully long. There's no way. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. All right. The market could go up every day and I'll spit on it before that happens. So that's got to change. Okay. And price pays. No, what is it? It's not prices. Price pays, isn't it? Price pays. It don't sound right though. Is that it? There's one line I've heard throughout my career. I still don't understand it, but I hear it. I heard it every day. Price is truth. I don't know. I think it's price pays. I think that's what it is. Crime pays, right? But anyway, okay. So I'm not going to get long. You understand my point, right? They, it could come down to neutral, right? Or it could offset a bit. I'm not going to get long with Sharpies fully hedged and riff specs fully long. It's not going to happen. So I need that to ease. And then what I would like is some of the other stuff, right? The positioning stuff, like we're seeing hedge funds, that sort of stuff, line up, right? Line up. Otherwise, I feel like the odds are I'm not missing anything. And as of now, there's been a lot of up and down, right? But from what I see with my own two eyes, I haven't felt like I've missed anything. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I haven't missed much. Yeah, are there stocks that I wish I owned? Of course. Okay. I've been staring at this LI and day trading it every single day. I mean, for the amount of time that I've been staring at it, I should have my whole bank account in it. So yeah, of course I see there are opportunities out there that I was interested in and I saw move without me. But that's the name of the game. That's how it always happens anyway. And even the short side, hasn't been too easy either. The short side, you had a stretch where the market was down consecutive days, but ask anybody who is really trying to short, you had these gap ups every morning, then they fade them. Intraday is where the opportunity was for the most part. Yeah, and you can't you can't exactly what you just mentioned. You can't let what other people are talking about, and what they say they own and what they're making money, and you can't let that bother you. You can't let that bother you because you go cuckoo in this game. All right, so that's it. I mean, the name of the game here for me is to stay patient. Again, I'm going to play. I'm a degenerate. I'm going to look to make some money intraday. I know I'm not going to knock the cover off the ball unless I'm really fortunate, but there's a good chance I'm not going to knock the cover off the ball day trading. Okay, but I'm looking to grind it out if I can get in the plus column while I'm allowing things to set up. I'm happier than a pig in shit right now. All right, because there's so many ways this could go still. I mean, we got the election, right? We'll see what happens there. Already you had this market factoring in Biden, blue wave, you name it. All right. So if something different happens, God only knows what this market looks like. We were talking about a la Brexit. Same thing happened with the Brexit setup. I had deja vu today. It was almost a foregone conclusion, Brexit, between the polls and the price action. Talk about price pays. The market, I promise you, I remember it like it was yesterday. The market never looked better than the day of Brexit. It broke out. There was flow all over the place. Stocks looked incredible. The volume was ridiculous. Impeccable price action the day of Brexit. The polls gave it no chance. Nobody gave it a chance. Okay, ding, 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 closing bell. You went home for dinner. The first poll came in where it was the total opposite. That's all. Shit hit the fan. And you had a flash crash for like 3 days, right? You remember? You remember that. You remember that. Okay. So, you never know with these things. These binary events are a pain in the rear end. You guys know that. It's just, unfortunately, we have to deal with them, between trade war deals and all this shit. We have to deal with them. Brexit, what? I keep getting confused. Brexit was 2015? Is that the year? Oh, 2016? I get it confused all the time. It was the summer. Yeah, July 2015. I think that's it. Wait, June? Okay, see, now we're all confused. Wait. Oh, it was before Trump election. Oh, but it could be June 2016. He's right. He's right. It was the summer before the election. Yep. You're right. All right. And you know what was funny about, I think somebody asked, how Sharpies were positioned, okay? Completely different than they are now. Sharpies were, let's see if I could go back here and show you quickly. Sharpies were long prior to that. Let's see if I can get it here and I'll show you. June. Wait a second. We're here. Here? Yeah, this got to be it, right? Yeah. So this is what it was here. Look at this. And then ripped to new highs, right? We leave the best part out for last. You can't even make it out on the chart here. All right. So this is what happened here. Sharpies, I remember, were all in long into this. Okay. And if I remember correctly, there was an update right before this, and they trimmed some of their long. So they weren't fully hedged. They just came off all in long. And then this happened, and then they went max long into this. And now, so, this, like a lot of people were saying today, especially I saw quite a few of you on private Twitter praying for something like that. Like a lot of us would take something exactly like this. No? Just catch everybody, wash them out, right? And then you get like Sharpies flipping into it or something like that. And, that's a nice little setup. So we could hope for it, But I tell you, if you're here, just so you guys didn't think I was making it up, I'm telling you, when it comes to this game, I have an impeccable memory. Anything else, forget it. My brain's mush. But look, see here? That day, I remember everybody, I think the NASDAQ was up even more, calling for a breakout and everything. Look, cup and handle breakout, they were calling, and then you get whoosh and shook out everybody. And look on the chart. Looks like nothing, right? And we were in this thing for so long. And they thought we were breaking out here. And they were right. It's just Brexit bit them in the rear end, shook them out, and then went to new highs. How about that? Yeah, my point is, I don't know. I'm not going to be a jackass and tell you, oh, yeah, this is what's going to happen off tonight's election. It's a binary event. You don't know, And unlike 2016, okay, we're not going in on the same positioning front, okay? So in other words, going into the Trump election, everybody was nervous. Everybody was all hedged up. Everybody was, the put to call was pushing higher, everything, there wasn't a good feeling about it. And Hillary, they thought was winning. I remember like the biotechs were selling off because they thought she was going to go after them. Everything, it was just a bad feeling about everything. And nobody thought Trump was winning. And then Trump won and the futures crashed overnight, but basically opened up green the next morning. But everybody was positioned on one side. That's the difference. Now, even if we had a little bit of a pull here where it helped things out, right? The last couple of weeks, we just had a squeeze now that wiped it all out. What am I doing? The arrows right here, right? If we went into tonight with let's say a little more selling, right? Or into the lows, then, you got a nice setup for maybe a reversal. But now you got this big snapback squeeze that leveled everybody out. It leveled everybody out right here. It leveled everybody out. Right? So that's another thing that adds, a little confusion into the mix. But here's my gut. My gut's not worth shit, but I'm going to share it with you guys anyway. Based off just what I'm seeing, how sentiment's playing out, very lackadaisical almost, right? It's taking time, Sharpie short. It just looks like to me, like what I just showed you in 2015-ish, it just looks like this consolidation. Honestly, it just looks like this consolidation to me, that we're going to be in a range, and maybe it's to through the end of the year. There's some there's some moves, there's some movement in between, right? There's some room in between, I should say, but I don't see it wound up enough for either side. I really don't. So we'll see, but that can change in a week. That can change in a week. Yeah, look again. Look what happened just from this point here. I mean, there a lot of good that did, right? So it doesn't take much, but we just, the last thing we want is for this market to just keep going like this. That's the last thing we want. That's the last thing we want, because all it's going to do is going to put added risk on the table. Santa, yeah, we're going to have Santa right around the corner. But then, you got COVID going nuts now. There's so many wild cards out there right now. So many wild cards. Here's another thing I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when you're not looking to build swing positions, and the flow's dead intraday, this is what you have to think about. At least I do. But what I've noticed is, I don't even know, maybe it's Biden, but I think this is more of a Europe thing than anything else. Like, if you look at the DAX, it kind of led us the last couple of days, snapping back a little bit. But like, look at this DAX. It got really ugly here. It got really ugly. Like, severely oversold, obviously. So it had to bounce at some point. And, you can make the argument Biden is more world leader friendly. So that could be beneficial to Europe, right? So maybe that's the reason they used the last 2 days. Who knows? But I just think we've been moving with Europe here. We've been moving with Europe. I don't think anything's changed. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, Europe. Like, look at this chart, John. Yeah, this doesn't look too hot, right? Like, you got some slippage right here, but they're on fire over there, man. They're running for their lives from coronavirus right now. It didn't even come here yet. Yeah, and DAX is the best of them. You're right. DAX is the best of them. Well, again, we'll play it by ear, take it nice and easy. And I'm just like, I got deja vu, just like I told you guys back when COVID was running wild on us. I can't wait for the day I come onto this webinar and I can say to you guys, guess what? We got a nice setup here. It's scary out there. You're going to look around you. You're going to hear around you nothing but negativity. But we got to try to find a way to get long some stuff. Right? I can't wait for that day. But you know me, the perma bull in me. So that's kind of what I'm being patient for here. Hit me with a bat too, because it's never easy. You know that. It's never easy. What have you, quickly, and then we'll run. What have you guys been playing around with, even intraday? Anything interesting? NIO. Honestly, I don't even know how I didn't play it the last couple of days off the action, just to get in the middle of it. This is ridiculous. This has been something else, huh? You know which one I've been playing, Ani? LI I've been playing. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. LI I've been playing. PayPal. Oh, you played the dip? Yeah. Off the selling. Jeez, PayPal coming in too. A lot of these names, are ready to, they're right at crucial spots. And then you get that breakdown and you're going to get a nice sweet spot on these things. But here's the thing, right? If Biden does win, nobody was talking about this today because everybody was factoring in the good things from Biden and a blue wave. you're going to have selling in these things because people aren't going to want to pay taxes on these things next year. So all these big winners are probably going to see selling pressure the rest of the year if Biden wins. So it'd be interesting to see how these things play out, all these studs, because they're all great stocks, but they're really crowded and they're on their brink. Banks were solid again today. You know, as shitty as they've been, there's been a good couple of days of flow. You know, I would try to wait for down days and make sure they buy them on down days before I get really interested in them. But we'll see if this value rotations for real come post-election. I love DD. That's one of my favorite rotation plays. I like that stock. Especially you could buy it on dips and stuff like that. Quite a few of these rotation plays saw some nice action. You know, CSX caught some more sharp action. This thing's a beast. The rail CSX. Somebody mentioned SUM. That's a materials play. That could be a little sleeper there. Hey, Mom, when did you subscribe to the Steam Room? How long ago? Send an email to spencer@sanglucci.com. Hold on. No, because we redid the trading room and the websites. So that's hold on a second. What the hell am I doing? That's why we had a little bit of an issue with some people. Anybody having an issue with private Twitter, just hit up Spencer. He'll write you back. And send him your Twitter handle. HCC had a nice pop today. Coal. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Here. Hold on. We might as well talk about it. I think it's important quickly. You guys know I'm a big HeartNet fan from Bank of America. Okay. And, you know, he's starting to look really right so far anyway, right? Hold on. No, of course, Twitter, and won't let me go back. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, I can't go back. But HeartNet's been calling for this. You know, HeartNet's been calling for this. Basically, he's saying that these tech names and a lot of the leaders, a lot of these hot growth names will be choppy from now until year end. And you're going to see outperformance in financials, commodities, some industrials, kind of that rotation play. And he thinks that trade can really start putting things together next year. Yeah, he's just looking at just rotation because of the disparity between the two, like how crowded tech is and how much it's appreciated, you know, how much it's gone up over the years to where there has to be some catching up. You know what I mean? So they don't necessarily have to fall out of bed. Like everybody thinks instantly crash. You could have, like we've been seeing, these tech names just on rocky footing, and little by little, you get outperformance in some of these commodity names. Serge Bova, let me see. There we go. Thank you. What would I do without you guys? So this is the last one here. Yeah, right? No. This is client flow trends. I got to go down on here. We are. No, it doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. That's the one I posted this morning. This is the client flow trends. Anyway, you guys know the thing. Friday, we get a new one, and we'll see what he has to talk about. But he's looking for that rotation, and, you know, he's calling that toppy process. He thinks we topped out, meaning that the highs are in. He thinks we trade in a range rest of the year, and he thinks the highs are in, and the vaccine may be the ultimate sell the news. That's okay, Ani. I have it. I just wanted to have it in front of me just for people to see. Yeah, energy too. Energy would be part of it. I just can't get myself to get bulled up on energy at all. I'm sorry, I can't. But I'm sure energy would do better than it's doing. I mean, can't do any worse. Can't do any worse. But listen, Hartnett could be wrong. You know what I mean? It's not, trust me, I've seen sharper guys wrong. It's just what he's been calling for a while, each and every week, you're starting to see more and more signs of it. You're starting to see more and more signs of it. I'll tell you one thing I'm hoping for if we do get that big rotation, I'm hoping we really get small cap leadership. That's what I like, small cap leadership. If we can get that, I'll be happy with that type of rotation. And that's what we've been getting, right? Because look, I looked at this the other day. Look at the small caps. Like, you talk about doing nothing. Look at this. So they've been in this, right? Big wide downtrend for a while. Maybe with a Democrat in office, no trade war, it loosens things up. The trade war destroyed them, destroyed the small caps. Kalanovich too? Is that what he's thinking? Yeah. A lot of sharp guys then are on the same page. We'll see. We'll see. There's nothing like these growth companies. I love growth. But if we're going to have some sort of rotation, I would prefer to have the small caps involved. Like the other names, it's hard for me to get junked up on a lot of these names. Like X, right? Look at this. I guess I like to play the common in these things. The equity, the options, you really need to catch a big move, and you can make money. You can definitely make money, but you really got to feel good about a big move. Yeah, that's what might linger on these tech names, right? If Biden's there. So we'll see. Like I said, listen, I'm bad at this, okay? Because as much as I love to talk about this stuff, you see, I talk with you guys constantly about this stuff. Don't let it get in the way, okay? I don't want to pretend like, don't be fooled that I know what I'm talking about. It means nothing. All this shit means nothing. It means nothing. So don't build a bias off it and get all hung up on, but there's going to be rotation. You know what I mean? You let the signals do the talking. Just pay attention to them and forget everything else. You start building a complex like you have a thesis and you know what you're talking about. It'll do nothing but cost you money. Yeah, that's kind of what I like to do, John. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. The way I look at it? I look at it like this. Like, let's say you were getting hot bowl games, right? Let's say you had a hookup giving you hot football games. You're not going to do your own handicapping. You're going to take the hot games and bet just the hot games. But you're still going to look at statistics. You're still going to follow the sport, just because you enjoy it. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. There were crazy bets out there today. Crazy bets. There was one. Which one are you talking about? The IWM? IWM. Did you see these bets today? Look at this bet, guys. For those of you who are members, look at this. It's just crazy ETF action. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Let's see. Look at this. November 13th, so short dated next week, $6.5 million opening sweep in IWM. This is what the trade looked like. 30,000, 165 calls, 2 and change. But I don't, into an event like this, is it a bet? Who knows? There was put action in other IWM lines. I think I posted with this, I showed you guys all the different type of action around it. So it's just one order, Here, look. Spreads, tide. You know how many things I saw crossed today? So many orders crossed. If you were looking at a scan today for big orders, you would have seen so many big orders you would have thought were legit. They're all crosses. Every single one of these things. Look, cross. Yeah, made me cross-eyed too. But again, it's an event. You know what else nobody's talking about? What about the Fed? We forgot about them this week. What else we got? Probably something else will bite us in the ass. Earnings or something. SPY reverse. Yeah, and here was my favorite ETF bet, just because I feel like it was realistic. Okay, IWM 2 weeks out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But this, what happened? Twitter went down, maybe. Somebody hacked Twitter. That'd be the best thing that could happen on election night. This guy, Bazooka Boy, they call him. So December, the end of next year, 335s, and he dished out like $30 in premium. Now that is the type of order I like. That's a realistic order right there. No, this one, the 15 million one. Oh shit, I didn't even realize it was that much, Ronjo. Holy cow. That's the 15 million one. Like, that's a good looking order, That's not it's not a spec bet. It's not in weeklies. That's somebody that's saying, you know what? I don't give a shit about this election. I don't care about anything. I'm going out a year and we'll see where this thing is. Yeah, that's the Fed thrown in the kitchen sink next year. No, but a million different things could happen, and this thing could be gold next year. If the economy opens up and all this stimulus catches fire, you never know. It could be, this thing could be gold. But anyway, it's realistic to me. It's a big dollar amount, but he laid wood. He went out with time. Somebody in that IWM to dish out that type of bet in one sweep, that type of dollar amount in one sweep for 2 weeks out, it's hard to believe that it's not tied to something else. But you got sick bastards out there. So what do you? Yeah, and Micron saw some decent play today. June's. There were, guys, the last 2 days, there was legit flow out there. I got no complaints about the flow. Trust me. I got no complaints about the flow. Messy because of earnings and everything else going on. But, there are definitely names that you can pick out to at least even pay attention to here. Micron, with time. And Micron, when they really buy, it's always with size. The CNC, a lot of us have been looking at this name for ages. It wouldn't catch flow. Finally saw some flow. Healthcare name. Where's the other page here? Baba has earnings. A couple of you guys were looking at the name, so I put it on there. NVIDIA has earnings. This was another decent bet. A little too short dated for me, but MOH November's. ATVI call spreads, and Dow DuPont, or whatever they call it now. So there's been some names. It's annoying. It's annoying when the flow's like this. It's annoying because I gotta look first. I'm looking to see if earnings are involved. Then I'm looking to see if something closes. You know, there's just a lot, especially like the names we want to see flowing. You know, the PayPal's of the world. These names that have been littered and littered. Like, how much flow has Neo? I can't. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like this, the amount of flow in Neo is absurd. It's absurd. Where's all that money come from? Who the hell? You're telling me that's all spec money in Neo? Can't be. You got big orders there. Yeah, what do you think it is? I mean, look at the stock, right? I'm not used to names catching action like this. I'm being honest with you guys. You know, you would be once in a blue moon, you would see action like we see in Neo. Once in a blue moon. Now it's every day in Neo. It's every day. It's every day. I mean, listen, I know there's Robinhood and Riff Raff spec money involved, but there's some big action in Neo. There's been some big players in this thing. So I don't know. Maybe the liquidity out there, there's that much spec money out there. Could that be it? I don't know. You got in at 28. So just recently, huh? Jay? Yo, don't ask me. You're asking me if you should get out? I would have told you to take profit at $15. Don't ask me. I'm being honest. Don't ask me. Yeah, roll it and leave a piece. Exactly. That's what you got to do. Just roll the thing. You had it $4. I had it. You guys know the story. I had it. I had it before. You guys remember 60 Minutes? 60 Minutes. Remember it was on 60 Minutes? So that was here. Look, you guys will appreciate this. All right? Look at this. Okay? I bought 12,000 shares. I think, yeah, 12,000 shares it was. Okay? And it was post IPO. It was cheap at the time. What was it? $6? I don't know, somewhere around there. Okay? It ran the day before, the day of 60 Minutes. It was going on 60 Minutes. There was so much hype. It was sickening. I sold it that day. And then after 60 Minutes, it sold off and just never came back. And now, you know where it'd be right now? Where was that? Was that this here? I don't know. I can't. When was that 60 Minutes? That had to be it. But can you imagine? It came all the way down to whatever. What was it? $2 this thing came down to? My God. It's a crazy stock. What else? Who's got the next Neo? Tesla had some weekly flow today, Mute. It had a couple weekly sweeps today. Had a nice move earlier off some action. You know, if you hopped on it early, then there was a whole lot of sideways. Later, PJ. I like LI. I like it. I like it a lot. I like this LI a lot. I like the flow in it. You know, I'd probably let it rest here. That was the spot here, right here again. They hit it a couple times at the nice spot. You know, and the first time we bought it was here, right? Oh no, it was back. Yeah, it was here then. No, it was back here. And then they bought it again here. They hit it several times. But I like this LI. Catches real action. Risk reversal today. This LI. Risk reversal today. How come I didn't put that on the thing here? I thought I did. Let's see. Yeah, it's down here. My bad. I didn't mention it. See this down here? LI? Later, Peter. So what happened here, they sold the 17 and a half puts and they bought the $30 calls for November. So they think it has upside and limited downside. But yeah, I just like the name. No, I don't have it anymore. I had it. I got out of it when I went into cash. And I just been day trading it now, Praveen. I just been day trading it. I'm not holding it at all. The other one, again, if you day trading, that's what I'm looking to do with this. The XPEV. This is a little tricky, this stock. Sometimes it does its own thing. But it's been the laggard of the bunch and has seen flow too. XPEV. So if you see like NEO and LI catching flow and heating up, sometimes you can go to this and be a little early. Like I did it today, I'll show you. It actually caught some flow today, which helped me out. But NI and NEO, I mean LI and NEO were hot pretty much early on, and this thing had a dip and then sideways here and then caught some flow, you know? Yeah, catches action. Last week, Carl, the week before that, it catches action. IQ, I haven't day traded IQ. I know several people like to day trade that name. They have earnings coming up too, IQ, right? How did we talk about this name? What was the name? Ready? Okay, you should all know the answer to this. What was the name, the one Chinese name that if these Chinese names were going to do well, it was the one catching the best flow of the action. LK was my nemesis. Cost me so much money. PDD. This thing has been getting tattooed. Where is it? I mean, they've been buying it constantly. But anyway, this thing catches bombs and another big explosion in it today. I didn't catch any of it, day trade or anything. Like this name is for real. I got people telling me that this company is a house of cards. Is it real, Steven? That's what I thought. The growth was nuts on this name, but I heard they're cooking the books. That's GSX too. Right. Yeah, they've. I'll tell you, this thing could catch flow. Aren't they like a Baba? Aren't they like a Baba? Kind of. Goldman upgraded them, yeah. Anyway, how many opportunities you had off of flow to buy this thing? They tattooed it over here. I actually owned it. Was it here or over here? Wherever LK went out of business and cooked the books, and I sold PDD because I pooped myself. I had the equity. If I had the calls, I wouldn't even care. But I had an equity position. I'm not holding equity and having LK happen to me, you know? You sold it with me too, Frank, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. Not like we would have held it to here, but I missed this, literally. That's right after I got out of it. Unbelievable. So, but this catches bombs. And Billy too. Billy's been quiet flow-wise. This had an incredible move. Yeah, I don't know about holding equity, right? You're better off buying calls And if LK happens to you, you lose your money you put in. But if you leg into some equity and LK, you step on an LK, that's going to leave some bruises. No? That's going to leave some bruises. I mean, that's going to leave some bruises. Yeah, Baba, that's the problem with these Chinese stocks. Exactly. That's why, Ani, I think they're fit for calls. I think the best way to play these Chinese stocks are calls. You don't care if it goes to zero, you lose the same money. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're liquid. They're definitely, Baba's liquid as the sea. Baba's super liquid. And you see the action PDD catches. Just some of the others, like I know, like you like an IQ. I don't know. I don't think that is, it's not as liquid, definitely. But, each and every name is different. Each and every name is different. The LI, stuff like that's not liquid, but Baba's like liquid. JD is not bad. Neo, super liquid, exactly. JD is another monster. Monster. Like JD's a machine. I remember this JD couldn't get out of its own way. A lot of you who have been around me probably remember. This thing used to catch flow, and the stock was like it was stuck in mud forever, right? And then it just exploded because of COVID. JD's a monster. A monster. TSM. No, I don't have any longs right now, KP. I'm out of everything. I just got little things that I've left runners in for the most part. I don't have anything. This TSM caught action too today. This is a good looking stock, right? It's a good looking stock. No, all I know is this thing goes up every day. That's all. It actually came in. There's another one with an F that goes up every day I look. FVRR. It's a good stock. Not Ford, you nut job. No, Fetch is good too. Look at Fetch. Talk about heavy buying. Heavy buying with time in this Fetch. Heavy buying with time. But all this stuff, I would have never held it when I went into cash anyway a couple of weeks ago. I would have never held any of this stuff. I'd be out of it all no matter what. Later, Ronnie. Don't forget, vote Bush. There's no way I would have held any of these things anyway. So I can't even complain. Yeah, what is that? Is that alternative energy too? Ride? What was it, a SPAC? Yeah, I'm all cash, Praveen. Oh, like Nikola? E-truck. Yeah, I saw it. It caught a little action, and the chart looked weird to me, What the hell happened here? This was like it had to be a SPAC or something. It was a SPAC? Yep. I saw a pullback on Kathy, the one she likes, right? That social cap. Oh, look at this. You got a buy signal for you off a niner. Let's see. A lot of these things are at interesting spots for a bounce. We'll see if they set up. A lot of these things look good, especially in tech. Especially in tech. There's a lot of these things that have pulled back that are decent spots. Yeah. I remember when it got hot, Kathy was buying it. But a lot of easy money was made in these things. A lot of easy money. Nah, she don't care. She'll keep buying these things till she turns purple. And 6 months, when they all heat up again, she'll be selling into strength. You know how she rolls. You see every day what she's selling for what? Now a good month? Every day she's selling she's been selling strength. 300% nuts. Yeah, pins, Xilinx. She was buying Xilinx when it looked like crap. All these, she buys them when they're dead. She can keep buying them. She's got the conviction. Yeah, look, Fastly, okay? She bought on the gap down. She bought again the other day. I wouldn't be surprised she bought again today. She'll keep buying it. She'll keep buying it. Teledoc buys it every day. Every day. Every day. But, the majority of us, she manages money. You can't mirror what she does. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't do it. When the momentum is hot and these things are flying all over the place like hotcakes, you can trade them all day long. Okay. But when you want to build positions, you gotta wait for the right spot. You know what I mean? And be patient and make sure if you're playing options, you have time. Because a lot of these things, even like a Teledoc, right? We've been saying it for a while. It looks great, but you don't know how long this is going to last. To digest this. I can imagine the liquidity there, Jim. What's the spread? Like a penny and $5 on those SPACs? It's like a $5 rip on those options, right? No, but like a Fastly, you know what I mean? Like a Fastly, you want to give time, let it hang around, let it bounce around, let the correction in tech take place, right? Let sentiment set up. And then, you see a good looking sweep in Fastly, you could start building a position and it'll help. It helps when you have market sentiment on your side, because if there's limited downside, it helps when you're building a position. But it's tough when you're buying like Kathy on the way down. It's not an easy thing to do. And especially when you're early, you're talking to yourself. Like any calls you bought here, you're underwater, forget it. Sight. I never even heard of that. Let me see Sight. That's the lotto ticket out there everyone's trying to catch now. Oh, that's not a bad looking stock, huh? That's a good looking stock. Sight. Landscape? Come on. A landscape company? No. There's a hidden thing here. I'm telling you. There's something here. Trust me. I thought this was gardening and I didn't play it. And then I find out it's gardening for weed. There's a hidden thing. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Landscaping for weed. I'll bet you any money. That's what it probably is. You guys know this GRWG? It's the guy who's out there cutting my lawn every day, Norse. He's printing money, robbing me every day. Doku. Oh, that's a stud, Doku. Yeah. Probably just needs more time than anything else, this Doku. KP, just time. Because this is, that's a crazy move. Crazy. Shovel, sprinklers. Oh, so it's a home improvement, David. That's the gas on it. Stay at home improvement. Yep. No, I'm out of plan. I got a little tiny piece of plan left that I rolled up, Jan's. I'm out of plan. But nothing that I'm going to get excited off of if it goes any higher. And if they go to zero, I'm not going to feel it either. Just like a runner. ACM, I'm out of, Praveen. That still looks great, right? Oh, shit. Back to new highs. I sold everything, Praveen. Apps. Apps that had a sweep today, right? Oh, man. Off a niner. BE, too. I saw. Not as good as the apps, though. Yeah, I remember you guys talking about this apps. Later, Fred. Is it a Kathy name, too? Jesus, she's got all the great stocks. All the hot stocks she's got. Right? She's buying them at 4, and we're looking to buy them at 40. Yeah, nice little racket she's got going on there. Nice little racket. DKNG. They have earnings, though, Demo. You got to wait for that now. You might as well wait for that, Demo. That's on November 13th. You know, this too had a big move. Crazy move. What about the other one, Penn? They came out with earnings, Penn, right? These are all, you see all these, what I'm seeing here? This is what annoys me a little bit. You got decent spots on some of these things for bounces. Let's see. Let's get through this week. We got a big week here. You know, maybe Sharpies loosen up a little. We get a little weakness post-election. Who knows? Things change quick in this game. Anybody got any poll updates? Yeah, ACM's just a good company. Buyout candidate. You know, it's been rumored to be a buyout target. Nice looking flow in it. It's a good stock. PLTR. That too looks interesting. I wasn't crazy about this stock, to be honest. You know, because he's cheap. Tons of like how much stock is out there? This is a big IPO, wasn't it? I like these type of names. CRSR. Remember this name we were talking about? Yeah, I know it's a software play. I'm just saying it's not easy to move this thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stock out there. This was a huge IPO. Like the CRSR, you know, nobody even heard about it yet. This is the type of stock that, you know, you look down a couple months and this thing could be $50. I like you. I like you. I like you. Kramer was pumping, which one? Oh, CRSR. Really? I like you too. Yeah, look, I mean, look, you got a little niner here, healthy breather. You know, caught some flow. I would definitely keep my eyes on it. You know, if you see the market falling apart, I'd be careful because they'll take it down with it, you know. But market, you got a little stabilization. I would keep an eye on it for a move out of this thing. You know, you may get it quick too. But I like this CRC. This is my type of IPO, like when they catch flow, you know? Yeah, there was a couple others too that I have. I got them all. I look at them every day. GDRX. And what was the other one? This one too came in. AMSW, something like that? No. ASWM? No. A? No. A. That's it. AMWL. That wasn't even close. Look, niner. Speaking of Spotify, that caught a good looking bet yesterday. I don't know what that's all about. Like they're ready to buy this thing already? I guess it's the bottom end of the range. Caught a nice sweep to Spotify yesterday. ASAN, that's another IPO. There's a lot of them. But you see, like, look, there are a few names, right, that have had nice runs. We talk about them. There are a handful of names. But the majority of stuff, they've improved. You know what I mean? They're even at better spots now. So patience pays off. It pays off. A lot of times, the market, if the market's heavy, none of these things are going to get away from you. You have the neos, you have these, niche sectors that get hot and they go wherever they want to go no matter what. But for the most part, these things hang around and they set up. Yeah, well, you know what it is too, DD, with this RKT? The sector now is out of favor. The sector, because of rising rates. Now you got rates going higher. So it's kind of out of favor now. And look at the difference. Here is where the home builders and rates, where everybody wanted to own them. And now with rates creeping higher, look what she looks like, right? Sector has no Momo right now. What about the home builders? Have they been soft too? I know we saw put buying in some of them. No, that's not it. DHI, what am I doing? Yeah, they've come in too. Wow, Niners there too. Jesus. MTH. Yeah, look at them. They all come in. You see how all these things are at big spots? What happens here? This is big here. What happens here? Because this is the first leg down here. Does this turn into something vicious? And you get the one more whoop? Or do you hold here base, build enough of a base and just do what like Teladoc is doing? I know that's what's the problem, DD, That's what you got to be careful about here. That's what you got to be careful about. MSGS. Oh, Madison Square Garden. Nah. I wouldn't buy this thing. I mean, it's a choppy mess. The Knicks are horrible. I don't know. There are so many other stocks I'd take a shot with over this thing. I know it's probably cheap, but I this is not really something I would look at. Yeah, I mean, you got people that are rolling the dice on some travel names. Like I'd probably roll the dice on something like that over that. ZI. This still looks like crap. And now you got the sector out of favor too. I don't know, Jay. You got good-looking names that are struggling in this group. Josh Brown was pumping travel names. Yeah, well, a lot of people are looking at the travel names as like a 2021 lotto. So you hold your nose, close your eyes. You buy some calls, mid 2021, and there's a vaccine, and maybe you click. But yeah, I mean, there's other. You could even buy hotels. The hotels are probably the way to go. Like they've been holding up too. Here's Hilton, Marriott. The hotels are probably the best way to go. What's the other hotel? Oh, Hilton. Wait, Hilton, Marriott. Oh, H is the Hyatt, right? Yeah. Yeah. They've all been basing here. We'll see, guys. Again, we'll see. Does the money rotate out of the hot stuff that we like to play into this stuff, or does it go back into the stuff that's setting up the hot stuff? We'll see. Patience, my friends. All right, guys. Go enjoy the election. We'll see what it brings tomorrow. Probably we learn nothing. And everybody's worried about the Trump tweet tonight. Look out for the Trump tweet. Sleep tight, everybody. Stay safe, huh?